Lost the lapel clip off the mic. Maybe it's in the equipment box. It'll be alright just hanging like this. What's the gain on the mic like? Does it look good? Sound good? Okay, cool. Dude, are we rolling? You're not supposed to push the button until later. Okay, we'll just edit this out. No big deal. Yeah, what the hell? Let's just leave it in. Buenos dias, buenas tardes, o buenas noches, wherever you are in the world and whatever time it is. This is the Santa Fe Report. I'm Norm Morrison, and thank you very much for being here. It's been kind of a neat morning, and it's reminded me of something. It's reminded me about being in the flow of life. A few years ago, I commented to a dear friend of mine back in Virginia, and I said to her that life was working for us, not against us. Hey, Jerry. Life is working for us. It's not against us, although often it seems like it is when we have financial difficulties or relationship difficulties or whatever it may be. But life truly is working for us when we allow it to work for us and not push back against us. When we make our plans and we say, okay, everything's got to go ahead like this, and it's got to happen like this, and it's got to look like this, we're not in the flow. We're projecting ourselves through sheer force of will and hard work, and it takes a lot of effort. Maybe it'll work out the way you want it, or maybe it won't. But if you let life help you, if you let life look after you, and life will, it goes a lot easier, and it will turn out better than you can ever have imagined it would. And I found since moving to Santa Fe in particular that I've been more in the flow of life. And things have been going really well. And life has been supporting me in ways that I couldn't have imagined. And an instant of that just happened again this morning. A couple of weeks ago, a friend of mine, Louisa Kolker, contacted me, and she invited me to an event that she has called Transformation 2. And it's a 3-day event. I had been to the Transformation 1 event that she'd had last year, and it was a wonderful event, and in fact it was a transformative event for me. And I wanted to go to the Transformation 2, but when she invited me, I had all this work to do. I've got my website going on, and I've got my Empower business starting up, and there's just a ton of things to do, and it takes a lot of time. So I said, Louisa, you know, I really can't make it. I've got too much to do. And notwithstanding that I've been putting a lot of money into the business startup, and you know, spending more money just wasn't all that attractive at the time. So anyway, Louisa calls me again this morning, and she says a situation has happened, and if you would like to attend Transformation 2, your tuition has already been paid. You know, wow, that's cool. But I thought this doesn't work into my plans. I've got all this work to do. Next week I'm leaving the country to go to my daughter's wedding, and a 3-day event right now. It's just like, wow, I don't know how I could do that. But then I stopped and collected my thoughts for a moment, and I realized this is another example of the universe supporting me, of life supporting me. And despite the fact that I've just got a ton of things that need to be taken care of all right away, all at once it seems, I thought I can't pass up an opportunity like this. So I'm going to be attending Louisa's Transformation 2 event this coming weekend for 3 days. And Louisa's just a wonderful person. She's colorful, she's outspoken, I love that. She's a psychoanalyst of high repute, and she's also a shaman. She studied abroad for a number of years, and the combination of being a psychoanalyst and a shaman is just, from my perspective, somebody that walks in the best of both worlds. Now, this isn't a commercial for Louisa Kolker, but it's an example of how the universe used her to support me. And I am grateful to both Louisa and the universe, to life. Now, I'd like to give you one more example before we sign off for the day. of how life has supported me since I've got here. Last fall, after I moved here, I was notified that I came into an inheritance. Now, my neighbor's dogs are going nuts over here. But anyway, when I moved here, as I've mentioned before, if you've seen any of my other videos, I didn't have a job to come to. Plans of getting a job come the new year, even though that wasn't terribly attractive to me. But this inheritance came through, and it has subsequently allowed me to live in relative comfort and given me the money I needed to invest in my two new businesses, and it was all out of the blue. The universe knew I needed some support. Life knew I needed to be supported, and it came through in a way that I couldn't possibly have imagined. Now, inheritances aren't really the way that I would like to make my money. Unfortunately, an uncle of mine died, but nonetheless, it was an example of life supporting me. And it was supporting me because I was an allowance. And am I always an allowance? No. Sometimes I push back against life and I say, no, things have to happen this way. I want it to look like this. And when that happens, the universe doesn't support me as much. And you can always know that life, the universe, I use those words interchangeably, are always going to support you if you let them, if you're an allowance. And things may not happen the way you expect or look the way you want them to, but even greater things will happen than what your little mind can come up with. Thank you for allowing me to share that with you. I'm Norm Morrison. This is the Santa Fe Report. Have a great day.